Hi, today we are going to talk about how to reflect a figure or a shape over a given line. This is called a reflection. So what I have on my screen is a shape or triangle ABC, and the task is to reflect the figure over the y-axis. So the first thing we have to decide is, where is the y-axis? Well, the y-axis is up and down. So this is the y-axis, which means we're taking this and we're flipping it over this line. Now we have to be careful. Some people might want to just slide it over this line, but that will not get us to the right location, because that would just be a translation. That would just be a slide. In order to reflect it, imagine that we have this shape on a piece of paper and we're folding it over the piece of paper and we're seeing where it lands. So what's going to happen is these shapes or these points are going to be the same distance from the y-axis, but on the other side of the y-axis. So if we start with point A is two spaces to the left of the y-axis, which means when we reflect it, it's going to be two spaces to the right of the y-axis. And because this is the new point, it's not the original point A, the new point, we call this A prime. Now point B is one space to the left of the y-axis. So the new point B or B prime is going to be one space to the right of the y-axis, and we call this B prime. And we can do the same thing with point C. Point C is four spaces to the left. So we go four spaces in the opposite direction, which is going to be, in this case, to the right, and that is C prime. And then we can connect our points with lines, which I'm going to do using the computer because it's great like that. And we now have our reflected shape. We reflected this, which means we flipped it over this y-axis. A couple facts are true. Angle measurements are preserved. That means all the angles are the same. So angle A is the same as A prime. Angle B, or the measure of angle B, is the same as the measure of angle B prime. And the measure of angle C is the same as the measure of angle C prime. Other things that are true is that side lengths are the same. So this line AC is the same length as A prime C prime, and that is true with all the others as well. Which means, because it's the same angles and the same side lengths, these two shapes are congruent. And that's true anytime that you reflect a shape over a line. Now what we did here is we reflected over the y-axis. That's not the only direction that you could be asked to reflect. You could also be asked to reflect over the x-axis instead. This horizontal line is the x-axis. The process is the same. This is 3 above, so we're going to go 3 below. And I'm going to call this a double prime because we already have an A prime over here when we flipped over the y-axis. So a double prime. Here we go up 5, so we have to go down 5 for B double prime. And here we went up 7. Yep. So we have to go down 7 for C double prime. And same as before, we can connect them with the lines. I'll just draw the lines this time. Maybe not. I can't draw them very beautifully. And the same is true about this shape, that it is congruent to these two triangles because the angles are all the same, the side lengths are all the same. Obviously, the thing that has changed is the direction it's pointing and where all the points are, right? A was on the bottom, now it's on the top, that kind of thing, because we flipped it over. That is a reflection of a figure on a graph.